Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet.
Hi, I'm Don from 1A Auto. I hope this how-to video helps you out. And the next time you need a part for your vehicle, think of 1AAuto.com. Thanks.
In this video, we're going to replace a worn-out lock cylinder. If you ever have any issues with your car, the key doesn't seem to work, doesn't turn any way, or turns difficult, you want to suspect your lock cylinder. And you'll need a new ignition lock cylinder from 1A Auto, T25 Torx Driver, a Phillips head screwdriver, a pick, and a 10mm socket and ratchet. Start out by disconnecting the negative battery cable using a 10mm wrench or a socket and ratchet. Loosen up the bolt and remove the cable. Just for ease, put your steering wheel up, and then there are two screws. They're either 7mm or T25 Torx. Remove those two screws, and then you can pull your glove box, or I'm sorry, not your glove box, your panel there down. Underneath the steering wheel, you'll find another T25 Torx screw. Remove that. Now you can pull down on that panel, and it snaps together in a couple different places. Pull carefully, pull straight down. Okay, and then pull it out over the turn signal and steering column tilt lever, and then pull up and off on the upper panel. You have to pull it over to get it by the lock cylinder, and then up and off. Using a small flat blade screwdriver, disconnect the electrical connection at the top. Insert your key, turn it to the on position, and then with a small awl, there's a little button or a hole on top. Press down in there, you'll press a button, and the lock cylinder comes out. Okay, the old lock cylinder is in the bottom, the new one from 1A Auto, and the new one has to be put together and keyed to accept. Now you're going to put a little bit of white grease on each side. This is the old lock cylinder. You're going to put some white grease on each side where the tumblers are, and that'll actually help to keep them in place when you take the locks off. And here we're going to remove the retainers using a small sharp awl. And you can see that the white grease does its job of keeping those tumblers in place. Now we're very carefully going to use your awl, start on one side, and take out the first tumbler. Okay, and we have a little piece of paper with a diagram or just kind of the key on it, and put each tumbler. And we're going to go to the next side, take the first one out closest to where the key goes in, put it on the paper, and just keep repeating that, taking them out in order. So you can see that we've updated our instruction sheet, and you can see some crossouts. Basically, there's a first style and a second style on these lock cylinders, and the cylinder we sell replaces both styles. So if you're replacing a first style, you actually omit a couple of the tumblers, and that's what the paper is telling us. So it's telling us we put the first one in. It's telling us we omit the second one. The third one, there wasn't one. And then after that, we put all the tumblers in as they are. Now each tumbler has a small number on it. Okay, so now here Don is opening up part of the packet. These are the springs. Okay, before you put each tumbler in, you put a spring in first, we didn't quite get this shot, but he's just putting a spring in the first slot. Okay, this is an old style. Our car has an old style, and we're putting in the new style, so we omit the first one. And then the second tumbler has a small 4 on it, so we grab a 4 from our new kit, and you insert that into the lock cylinder. And the tumblers and the cylinder are actually such a way that you can't. You could put them in the wrong order, but you can't put them in the wrong side. So Don just figures out the correct side. You put the spring in first, and then you put the tumbler in on top of the spring.
What's that? Can you move down a little bit? Come closer this way. Yeah.
So we skip 2.
Okay, so now he's doing the next one. He puts the spring down in, checks the number on the tumbler, gets one from the kit, and inserts it. And like I said before, we have an old style cylinder on the car. Our replacement is a new style, so you omit the first one, and then the third one, there wasn't one in the original, so you just keep going right down, matching up the tumblers and putting them back in. And since we're replacing our old style lock cylinder with the new style lock cylinder, you'll notice that there's no brass retainers anymore. You just put the lock tumblers in place, and that's it. With the key, you can see that keyway is up. Put the key in, keyway goes down. Put some grease on the cylinder to lubricate it. Work it down into the tumblers. There's a groove in the lock cylinder there. Okay, make sure you line up with the groove on that lock cylinder, put it in, turn it backwards, and it's in place. Reconnect your electrical connection, and you can test fire the vehicle, and then put your trim back together. Okay, once you get the trim back on, you put those bolts back in place and reconnect your battery. We hope this helps you out. Brought to you by www.oneaauto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. Please feel free to call us toll-free 888-844-3393. We're the company that's here for you on the internet and in person.